Gurave Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Mityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Vedanta study of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in chapter 9, Damodar pastime, and we are in this section, verse number 18 to 21, Krishna's Bhakta Vatsalya, which means Krishna is controlled by his pure devotees. Bhritya Vasyata. Bhritya means the devoted, pure, eternal servant of Krishna, and Bhritya Vasyata means controlled. That is the theme or climax of this chapter, that Krishna is controlled by his devotee. And the glorious position of Mother Yashoda, that is actually the actual answer to Parikshit Maharaj's question, that what Nanda and Yashoda has done some pious activities. They have not done pious, they are eternally liberated mother and father of Krishna, of Vatsalya Prem and Golok Dham. So now we are starting verse number 19. Evam samdarshita hai anga harinam bhritya vasyata swavashenapi krishnena yasedam seshavaram vashe. Evam, in this way, sandarshita, he has shown. He has sun means completely. Darshita means he has shown. He has exhibited what? And then definitely, hey, Anga is a address to Vidura, which means my dear. It's like my dear Parikshat here. Sorry, Sukdev is addressing to the Parikshat, my dear Parikshat. Is more affection in this address Anga. Harina means by the Supreme Lord who is controlled, and Bhritya means his servant, and Vashita means control. How Hari is controlled by his devotee. Swavashenapi Krishna, Krishna who is independent, is only in his own control, nobody else can control him. Yes, Idam, but and everybody else, yes, Idam, say Sa Ishwaram, all the other powerful demigods, Yasya, of whom Idam, this whole universe in which there are powerful demigods like Brahma, Shiva, Indra, they are under control of Krishna. But Krishna is under control of his devotee. So, O Maharaj Parikshat Anga, this entire universe with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma and Lord Indra is under the control of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Yet the Supreme Lord Krishna has one transcendental attribute. One transcendental attribute. That is, what is that? Bhrityavashyata. Bhakta Vatsal Bhrityavashita. He comes under the control of his devotee. He comes under the control of his devotees. This was now exhibited by Krishna in this pastime. Srila Prabhupada writes, this pastime of Krishna is very difficult to understand, but the devotees can understand it. It is therefore said, Darshyans tad vidan lok atmano bhakta vashyatam 10:11:9. Tad means Lord, Vidan means those who know, Lok Atmano, the ordinary people, Bhakta Vashyatam, they will know the Lord is controlled by his devotees, by his servants. The Lord displays the transcendental attribute of coming under the control of his devotees. And now Srila Prabhupada is qualifying who is devotee. Oh, as stated in Brahma Samhita first, Eko api asau varachitam jagat andak kotim. So, by his one plenary portion as Paramatma, the Lord controlled innumerable universes with all their demigods. Yet he agrees to be controlled by a devotee. In a Upanishad, it is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead can run with more speed than the mind. But here we see that although Krishna wanted to avoid being arrested by his mother, he was finally defeated and Mother Yashoda captured him. Lakshmi Sahasra Satsam Rasevya Manam. Krishna is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Nonetheless, he steals butter like one who is a poverty-stricken. Yamaraj, the controller of all living entities, fear the order of Krishna. Yet Krishna is afraid of his mother's stick. These contradictions cannot be understood by one who is not a devotee. But a devotee can understand how powerful is unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. It is so powerful that Krishna can be controlled by an unalloyed devotee. Bhrityavashyata does not mean that he is under the control of servant. Rather, he is the controller of servants' pure love. He is under the control of servants' pure love. Not servant, but servants' pure love. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Krishna became the chariot driver of Arjuna. And Arjuna ordered him, Senyor Byor Madhya Ratham Stapya Me Achyuta. My dear Krishna, you have agreed to be my chariot driver and execute my order. Place my chariot between the two armies of the soldiers. Krishna immediately executed this order. And therefore, one may argue that Krishna also is not independent. But this is one's gyaan or ignorance. Krishna is always fully independent. When he becomes subordinate to his devotees, this is display of Ananda Chinmaya Ras. Ananda Chinmaya Ras. The humor of transcendental qualities that increases his transcendental pleasure. Everyone worship Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he sometimes desires to be controlled by someone else. Such a controller can be no one else but a pure devotee. In Krishna books, Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna, playing as a human child in the house of Mother Yashoda, was performing his own selected pastime. Otherwise, no one can control Supreme Personality of Godhead. As a pure devotee surrender himself unto the lotus feet of the Lord, who may either protect or vanquish the devotee. The devotee forget his subordinate position. Similarly, Lord also feels transcendental pleasure by submitting himself to the protection of his devotee. This was exemplified by Krishna's surrender unto his mother Yashoda. Chakravarti Pad writes, though Krishna possesses all possible powers, he is bound and controlled by prem, love. This bondage, however, being the most astonishing attribute of the Lord, it is not fault but a beautiful transcendental ornament in Krishna's personality. Bhritya Vashyata or Bhakta Vatsalta is not a fault of being dependent or submissive, but it is an ornament of his transcendental attribute. Now here are 8 possible ways. By his very nature, Krishna is, number 1, self-satisfied Atmaram, yet he suffers from hunger. He is apatkam too, automatically fulfill all his desires, yet he is dissatisfied and desires of prem. Though Krishna is 3, the personification of peace and pure goodness, he becomes angry. Krishna is number 4, master of goddess of fortune, yet he steals butter like a beggar. Though Krishna, number 5, instills fear in all through time and death, he flees in fear of Yashoda's step. Though Krishna, number 6, travels at the speed of mind, he is easily caught by the firm grip of Mother Yashoda. Though number 7, Krishna is a condensed bliss, Sandrat or Sandra Anand. He cries in sorrow. Though Krishna 8 is unlimited and all-pervading, he is limited by being tied up. These are all the special attributes of Krishna. In all these incidents, Krishna was directly revealing to Yashoda his innate quality of being controlled by his devotees. All of this cannot be explained as simply an act of imitation performed by Krishna. Such explanations arise from ignorance and have no proof to support them. Realizing this quality of Krishna, Brahma, Shiva, Sanat Kumar become truly astonished. The Srimad Bhagvatam 10.11.9 states, Darshans tadvidam lokatmano bhrityavashyatam vrajasya uvahavai harasham bhagavan cheshtitai. To pure devotees throughout the world who could understand his activities, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna exhibited how much he can be subdued by his devotees. His servants, devotees means his servants, In this way, he increased the pleasure of the Vrajavasis by his childhood activities. Swavashina. Swavashina means within the control only of his own self. Krishna is in control of his own self. Though Krishna is independent, Swavashena, where do we see his control? Oh, Krishna controls the entire universe along with millions of powerful demigods. Yasya idam sa ishwaram vashe. Although Krishna is the fully independent supreme controller, he becomes controlled by prem of his devotees. This prem, the sense of Krishna's chitta shakti, rises to Lord's highest bliss. That has been explained previously. Laghu Vaishnava Toshni writes, it is concluded that Krishna is complete and supreme in powers as the Lord. He is without hunger and dissatisfaction. Yet, it has been described that he was angry, theft prone, and fearful, and he fled away, was forcefully grabbed by his mother, and killed. These characteristics, being confidential, should be understood to be real by you, Parikshat, since they are the cause of rasa mellow. But how can he also be called perfect and supreme? True, by qualities he is perfect and the Lord, but one must consider his mercy to his devotee. Without that mercy, none of the qualities will give happiness to anyone. A person cannot be pleasant if he has hard heart. If there is no mercy, qualities diminishes in value. I think this is most important for all the preachers. Without compassion or mercy, it's not possible to preach and change the heart of the people. Qualities which cause happiness in people are good qualities. Lack of mercy is naturally a fault. Such a fault cannot exist in the Lord, for by becoming an ordinary person with faults, he loses his status as the Lord full of good qualities. Ayam Atma apahata papama. The Lord is devoid of sin. Chandogya Upanishad. Eshau evaha vamaniha vamani sarvani adhyani. He is full of all auspicious qualities. All qualities come to the person who knows the Lord as such. As such means most merciful. Mercy produces all other qualities and counters all fault. Therefore, it is the chief quality. This is explained in relation to Punshwan ceremony described in the 6th canto. Just as you are endowed with the mercy by which your powers are hidden, so you are situated as the Supreme Lord worthy of worship by being endowed with the Shakti of the Mahalakshmi, the Shakti of independence, the Shakti of wealth, all strength and other qualities. That mercy corresponds to the nature of bhakti and is proper since in its absence there is fault. If unconditional bhakti controls Lord, it is proper that mercy also control him. By this, his powers do not decrease, since they manifest elsewhere. How? For instance, though Krishna was bound up, he showed power to deliver Kuber's son by pulling down the trees. Rather, but the quality of mercy, since it is all attractive, the powers of the Lord double in potency if there is mercy. It is necessary that he is controlled by the devotee. The Lord of the Vaikuntha says to the Durvasa Rishi, Aham bhakta pradheno he asvatantar eva dveja sadhu bhira grasta hirdayo bhakti bhakta janapriya. O Brahman, I am completely under the control of my devotees. I am not at all independent. My heart is controlled by the pure devotees. What to speak of my devotees? Even those who are the devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. The reason the Lord's heart is controlled by the devotee is because the devotee is sadhu, which means devoid of other desires, devoid of cheating. Therefore, it is appropriate that the Lord has no other desire than to please the devotee. Being controlled by the devotee takes the form of internal and external action favorable to the devotee. Because Krishna takes on the mood of an infant in response to Yashoda's devotion, he is assuming that mood is proper. Thinking of this real condition of Krishna, Kunti becomes bewildered with astonishment and bliss. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes flooded with tears, which washed the massacre from your eyes, and you were afraid. Though fear personified is afraid of you, this sight is bewildering to me. With this intention, Sukdev speaks this verse. In this way, being controlled by the devotees has been explicitly shown, since elsewhere outside of Vraj, pastime with intensely possessiveness of devotee to the extent of being bound up do not occur. Ang expressed Sukdev's prem for Parikshit, and he expressed certainty. Being controlled has been shown graphically by the Lord who attracts the devotees, Harina, independently, because he is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna controlled the universe. Sanatana Goswami writes, from the beginning of the chapter, or in the way stated, evam, it is clearly shown that Lord is controlled by his devotees. Ang indicates prem. Though Krishna is independent, Swavasena, since he is the supreme Lord, Krishnena, and controls the universe, he is controlled by the devotees. This control by Yashoda shows his being extremely controlled. Sangdarshita, more than by Brahma or previous devotees, or more than by Yudhishthira and others, where he acts as a guard, as a servant, as a charioteer, no one else could tie him up. So, this was the one of the most important verses. I think the Laghu Vaishnava Toshni writes, this Bhakt Vatsalta is because of mercy, and it is because of the mercy of the Krishna was bound. But mercy is reciprocal to the bhakti. Mercy is according to the bhakti of a devotee. So now we are going to the verse number 20. This is also very, very important and real answer to Parikshit's question. Nemam vrancho na bhavo na shrirapi anga sangshraya. 3 times na. Prasadam le bheri gopi. Yattat prapta vimuktidat. Vimukti, what is vimukti is also a good question. We will get in a purport. Neither Lord Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, nor even the goddess of Lakshmi, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the deliverer from the material world, such mercy as received by Mother Yashoda. Srila Prabhupada, this is comparative study between Mother Yashoda and the other devotees of the Lord. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ekal Ishwar Krishna are sab bhrate. The only Supreme Master is Krishna and all others are his servants. Krishna has transcendental quality of bhritya vashyata, becoming subordinate to his bhritya or servant. Yesterday, doctor, you have asked question, what is the main point of the whole chapter or something, right?
Transcendental qualities of Krishna Mataji asked. Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
these are the transcendental qualities, bhakta vasyata. This is the topmost quality actually. Adhbhut, your hand is up, I can see now.
Yes, Prabhu. Very interesting thing. I just have a question in relationship to the mercy. Mother Jashoda was able to bind Krishna only when his Kripa Shakti took over from his heart.
Right.
And the mention of, preaching is effective if you have mercy. Obviously, it would be nice to have mercy. But can we equate that mercy here of Krishna to Mother Jashoda as compassion? How would it be compassion or some other kind of mercy? Because in preaching it's compassion, but
Well, say what I said is like this. I said is like this. Qualities of Krishna are also in minute, minute quantity in devotees. Krishna is controlled by devotees because he has a mercy. Similarly, devotees also must have mercy and compassion when they preach. By that, they will change the heart of the people. And in this way, those people, through these merciful devotees, can realize the mercy of Krishna and will be attracted to the Krishna. Usually this is the topic we discuss in the second verse of Bhagvatam, Nirmatsranam Satam.
Yeah.
The devotees are non-envious. It means they are always merciful. So for the topmost religion, which is prema, which prema is of the Brajavasis, and for that it is most important that we notice that Krishna is controlled by his pure devotees, and such pastimes are not out of Braj. They are not in Mathura, they are not in Dwarka. They are only and only with his own eternal Nitya Siddha associate of Golok, not with anybody else. Is it okay?
Yes, he could not tolerate Mother Jashoda struggling anymore to bind him up, right?
Yeah, it is his mercy.
Yeah, his mercy. Yeah, thank you.
Krishna has the transcendental quality of Bhritya Vashyata, become the subordinate to his Bhritya as servant. Now, although everyone is Bhritya, and although Krishna has the quality of becoming subordinate to his Bhritya, the position of Mother Yashoda is greatest. Lord Brahma is Bhritya, is servant of Krishna. He is Adi Kavya, he is the original creator of this universe. Tena Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavya. Nonetheless, even he could not obtain such mercy as Mother Yashoda. As far as Lord Shiva, his topmost Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. What to speak of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, but the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is the Lord's concern, constant companion in service, since she always associated with his body, Anga Sansarja, on the chest. But even she could not get such mercy. Therefore, why they could not get this mercy, we will discuss. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was surprised, thinking, what did Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj do in their previous lives by which they got such a great opportunity, the opportunity to be the affectionate father and mother of Krishna? In this verse, there are three negative pronouncements, na, na, na. When anything is uttered three times, do it, do it, do it, one should understand that this is meant to indicate great stress on effect. In this verse we find na le bheri, na le bheri, na le bheri. Yet Mother Yashoda is in the supermost exalted position, and thus Krishna has become completely subordinate to her. The word this is vimuktida is also significant. There are different types of liberation such as sayujya, salokya, sarupya, sareshti, samipya. But the vimukti means special mercy. Vi means special. When after liberation one is situated in platform of prema bhakti, one is said to have achieved vimukti, a special mukti or liberation, which means he become associate of Lord. Therefore, the word na is mentioned. That exalted platform of prem is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as prema pumartho mahan. The mother Yashoda naturally acts in such an exalted position in loving affairs. She is therefore a Nitya Siddha devotee. And what is Nitya Siddha? An expansion of Krishna's Haladini potency. His potency to enjoy transcendental bliss through expansion, who are special devotees, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibha Vitabhi. Such devotees are not sadhan siddha. Krishna book. Krishna is supreme bestower of all kinds of liberation to his devotees, but the benediction which was bestowed upon Mother Yashoda was never experienced even by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Goddess Lakshmi. This verse is spoken on seeing the exceptional devotion of the Queen of Vrij, who among all the devotees brought Krishna under her control. Vimukti here means Vishesha Mukti, specialized liberation or prem. Vimukti Dat means Krishna, the giver of prema. And Vranchi means Brahma. The inconceivable mercy that Yashoda obtained from Krishna, the giver of prem, was never received by Brahma, Shiva, Bhavo, Lakshmi Devi, Shri. This verse contains three negative pronouncements, Nenam, na Bhavo, na Shrihi. Three repetitions emphasize the exceeding absence of mercy offered to these personalities. However, with the word indeed api, the sentence can mean that even though they received mercy, it was not to the extent of Yashoda. Lord Brahma is son of Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, and the Adi Guru of the devotees. Sa Adi Devo Jagatam Paro Guru. As the topmost Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu, Shiva, is considered superior to Brahma. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, who reside on the chest of Vishnu, is superior even to the Brahma and Shiva. The shelter of the, and what are her mellows, Narayan? She is the shelter of Sakhya and Dasya ras. Half Sakhya ras and Dasya ras. Therefore, in Vaikuntha there are 2.5 ras. Shant, Das, and half Sakhya. Nevertheless, Mother Yashoda is the supermost exalted position because she alone obtained such extraordinary mercy from the Lord. Lakshmi has a Vaishnava Sampradaya, Sri Brahma has a Vaishnava Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva, Shankar has a Rudra Sampradaya. All three are great Vaishnavas, but all have a identification with the position. They know Krishna with opulences. Therefore, they cannot realize the sweetness of Krishna. None of them can dare to bind Krishna. Therefore, Krishna has more mercy on Gopika. Only Yashoda was said 1 or 2 times, then only Gopi, 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 Gopi. The one meaning of Gopi is one who takes care of the cows. The other meaning of Gopi is one who takes care of the Mother Earth. Go means earth. The third meaning of Gopi is one who drinks through the senses the beauty of Krishna. See his beautiful face through the eyes, hear his flute through the ears. So this is called Gopi. And the fourth meaning of Gopi, to keep Krishna confidential. Krishna left Mathura to come to the Gokul to be not detected by Kansa. So gopis kept him, Gopanya means confidential. Nobody knew ever that Krishna is that powerful person. And gopis say, you have to dance, we can give you a little butter as a butter thief. So gopis kept Krishna's personality and opulent hidden from the Kansa. So this meaning of Gopi is very extraordinary meaning. Now Sukdev Goswami says, O Parikshat, although you know about the Nanda and Yashoda, who are famous in the scripture as Nitya Siddha, in answer to your casual question in 10.8.46 about their austerities in previous lives, I told the story of Drona and Dhara, who are very small expansion of Nanda and Yashoda. When Brahma has not such mercy, how can by his blessing somebody can get that mercy? This is the answer. More detail we can see. Parikshat asked how Nanda attained such a position as father of Krishna. Sukdev began to illustrate the intimate relationship from the beginning of this chapter by telling Damodar pastime. Now the true answer is represented in 2 verses. After describing the situation in the previous verse, Brahma is the guru of the devotees. Shiva is the good example of the devotee. Lakshmi is the Lord's eternal consort and takes shelter of his body, Anga Sangsharya, sitting on his chest. But they did not attain mercy in the form of great bhakti. However, Yashoda, queen of the gopis, received something indescribable from the Lord, who is the giver of liberation. Muktim dadati karachit sma na bhakti yogam. The Lord gives liberation, but not bhakti, devotion. Generally, the Lord gives liberation. Yashoda attained something unspeakable, yat tat, explained previously as mercy in the form of highest prema, being an exclusive object in this. It is simply called Tat. Brahma, Shiva and Lakshmi did not receive this prem. or what Yashoda attained, Brahma, Shiva and Lakshmi did not attain. The negative is repeated 3 times to emphasize. Lakshmi was the dearest, thinking that she belonged to the Lord, being situated on his chest. She had possessiveness of the Lord and was obedient to him, but she was filled with the knowledge of greatness of the Lord. The possessiveness of Yashoda was not disturbed by anything else. She thought Krishna dependent on me. I must see to his welfare alone. That prem was intense and the mercy was intense. What more can be said? Krishna belonged to her. Such mercy could not be attained by benediction from Brahma, as stated in the last chapter to the Drona and Dhara. No. And Brahma himself says, my greatest possible good fortune would be to take my any birth, whatever, in this forest of Gokul, and have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the supreme Lord Mukunda, the dust of whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras. Sanatana Goswami writes, this is explained. Even Lakshmi, situated on Lord's chest, could not control Krishna as Yashoda did. Lakshmi controlled only on the limbs of the Lord. His chest, Anga Sanskriya, or taking shelter of his chest, she did not attain the same mercy since she could not subject him with ropes. Or Brahma did not attain, Shiva did not attain, Lakshmi did not attain, and some others understood, did not attain. Lebheri is plural verb. The same mercy. Or Brahma and Shiva and Lakshmi did not attain the same mercy. Or they attained mercy, but Yashoda's attainment of mercy was inconceivable. Or they did not attain the famous mercy that Yashoda attained. Lord gives a special mercy, Vimukti, Vaikuntha. Lord gives a special mercy, Vaikuntha to some. He who gives liberation to others was bound by Yashoda. This shows that he is controlled by his devotees. Last verse of this section. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutam. Sir, gopika sutaha jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhakti matam iha. Iha means in this life, in this world. Na ayam na. Then now Sukadeva is pointing a finger towards Krishna. He is saying, na, I am this one. Who is this? Gopika, so the son of Yashoda, Gopi. Sukhapo means easily. He is a Bhagavan. To the Dehinam, those who identify with the body, he is not attainable by them. Jnaninam, they don't identify with the body, but they are in knowledge. He cannot be attained by them. Cha Atma Bhutanam, those who think themselves non-different than soul, they cannot find him also. Or those who identify with the body, these are all the Brahma, so they are all Atma Bhuta, coming in that category. Yatha Bhakti Matam Iya, as the devotees can obtain Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, son of Yashoda, he is not obtainable by others. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to the devotees engaged in spontaneous, which means rag. Spontaneous means rag, loving service. But is not easily accessible to mental speculators, gyanis, to those striving for self-realization, or by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body same as the self. Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda. It means Gopika Nandan, Yashoda Nandan, Gopijana Vallabha, is very easily available to devotees, but not to the tapasvis, yogis, jnanis, and others who have bodily concept of life. Although they may sometimes be called Shanta Bhakta, they may be sometimes called Shanta Bhakta, means a neutrality, but real bhakti begins from Dasya. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because there is affection, sneha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, ye yatha mam prapadyante. All living entities surrender unto me. I reward them accordingly. Everyone follow my path in all respect. Usana Partha. Everyone is seeking Krishna, for he is the super soul in all the individual souls. Everyone loves his body, and he wants to protect it because he is within the body as a soul. And everyone loves this soul because soul is part and parcel of super soul. Therefore, everyone is actually seeking to achieve happiness by reviving his relationship with super soul. Very wonderful purport. As Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedas sarve rahame vedyo. By all the Vedas, it is I who am to be known. Therefore, the karmis, jnanis, and yogis and saintly persons are all seeking Krishna. But by following the footsteps of the devotees who are in the direct relationship with Krishna, especially the inhabitant of Vrindavan, one can reach the supreme position of associating with Krishna. This is Rag Anoga Bhakti. As stated, Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam nagachati. Krishna does not leave Vrindavan even for a moment. The Vrindavan Basi, which means the resident of original Golok Vrindavan, Mother Yashoda, Krishna's friend Rakta, or Krishna's friend Shubal, Sridhama, and Krishna's conjugal lovers, Gopis, the younger Gopis, with whom he dances, have very intimate relationship with Krishna, and that is called Raga Atmik Bhakti. Their life is completely filled with Krishna Prem. And if one follow in the footsteps of these devotees of Krishna, to these devotees, Krishna is available. Although the Nitya Siddha expansion of Krishna always remains with Krishna, if those engaged in sadhan siddhi follow in the footsteps of Krishna's Nitya Siddha, so here sadhan siddhi in this case is Raganoga sadhan bhakti practice. And Nitya Siddhi in this case is Rag Atmika, Krishna's eternal associate. Such sadhan siddhas also can easily attain Krishna without difficulty. But there are those who are attached to bodily concept of life. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, for example, have very prestigious position, and thus they have the sense of being very exalted Ishvara. In other words, because Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are Guna Avatara and have exalted position, they have some small sense of being like Krishna. But the pure devotees who inhabit Vrindavan does not possess any bodily conception. They are fully dedicated to the service of Lord in sublime affection. Prem. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore recommended Prem Pumartho Mahan. The highest perfection of life is prema, pure love in relationship with Krishna. And the Mother Yashoda appears to be the topmost of the devotees who have attained this perfection.
Maybe the blessing that Brahma gave Dhara and Yashoda in the previous life, that actually wasn't needed, right? Because
I mean, no. Say, for Dhara and Drona needed that mercy because they are not Nanda and Yashoda. Nanda and Yashoda don't need that mercy. Nanda and Yashoda are Nitya Siddha, while Drona and Dhara are Sadhana Siddha. They are one small portion of Nanda and Yashoda. So the point actually made is here is that when Brahma himself is not able to have that mercy as Yashoda has, how come by Brahma's mercy Drona and Dhara can get the position of Yashoda? It means Yashoda's position is exalted even than Brahma and Shiva and Lakshmi. So how can their blessing can give somebody the position of Yashoda? It means Dhara and Drona are the Vasus, which is the one category of demigods. And in Satyalok, when they were living with Brahma, they knew that Krishna is appearing on the earth. So they developed the desire to have Vatsalya Prem with Krishna. So they prayed to the Brahma that you want us to do creation, but please bless us that we can be born in Braja and can have the parental love for Krishna. So Brahma said, okay, let it be. So they appeared as a Gopa and Gopis, which are actually expansion of Nanda and Yashoda. And original Nanda and Yashoda were also there, but they just merge in them.
this part about merging, where does it is it mentioned, Prabhuji?
I think we have read in some of the purpose they merge. They said original, and they are blessed by Brahma, so they entered in them just for the sake of relishing the parental pastime.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Could you explain something here which I'm confused about? Is Yashoda is manifestation of Krishna's Haladini Shakti. And then you also mentioned up there, which I couldn't catch, the difference between Ragatmika Bhakti, which is giving Nitya Siddha, and then Sadhana Siddha only giving something. I missed that purport, but I couldn't understand quite.
It was written that, well, and I mean, they said just Mother Yashoda is the expansion of Lord Krishna's own Haladini Shakti. It was written like that.
Haladini Shakti. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that I saw. But when you explained about Nitya Siddha, you mentioned something.
Oh, no, I mean Nitya Siddha are eternally liberated souls. They are actually speaking all the energies, whether they are Nitya Siddha or Sadhana Siddha or Kirpa Siddha or conditions, whatever, they all are expansion of internal energy.
Okay.
All the jivas are expansion of internal energy, because they are say this is Satchit Anand is a common word we know. Krishna is Satchit Anand. So the presiding deity of Sat is Balaram. Presiding deity of Anand is Haladini Shakti or Radharani. And presiding deity of Chit is Vasudeva Krishna. So actually, Satchit Anand actually means Balaram, Krishna and Radharani three. So whatever we see, Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, everything is coming from these three. From Balaram comes all the Vishnu Tattvas and all the, all the creation. And from the Radharani comes all the Lakshmis, all the Gopis, all the queens and all the living entities, and shadow is also Maya. The Durga is shadow of Radharani.
And the other point is Krishna is vimukti dat because he awards prema bhakti, even that prema bhakti.
He gives his association
So
in a
he
form.
gives liberation to others. Yeah.
Others are getting liberation into the Vaikuntha, but he gives in his own association in Vrindavan Dham for those who follow his eternal associate of Brij. The whole subject matter what we were discussing is Raganuga Bhakti. What I was...
So if you had one way to describe vimukti dat, I've written like this.
Mukti, Vimukti da, Vimukti, special liberation.
He awards prema bhakti that will allow.
Yeah, Vimukti da means special, Vishesh or special liberation, which is different from the other 5 liberation in the Vaikuntha. This is a prema bhakti as an associate of the Supreme Lord, following in footstep of Brijvasis. So there is a special Vimukti dat.
Which means he gives freedom to the special souls to do what they want with him, in a sense, even to bind him. In a sense, like that.
They become eternal they become eternal associate in Golok Dham.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, because of the word mukti, I'm trying to figure my
mukti and vimukti.
I understand to a point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, V means is special.
Yeah.
Which means prema bhakti.
Yeah, special. Yeah.
What I was actually trying to explain before I wanted to go further, there are, say, Dharma projit kaitavo paramo, second verse of the Mangalacharna. So from Bhagvatam, a karmi's dharma of heaven is rejected. Gyani's dharma of merging in Brahma is also rejected. And even Bhakta's 4 type of liberation, Vaikuntha is also not very important. But what is Param Dharma? Devrishi Nath described Param Dharma means love of Brijvasis for Krishna is Param Dharma. Sai vai punsham paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshajai. So that Param Dharma is actually, Narad writes, Param Dharma is love of gopis for Krishna. Love of Brijvasis for Krishna is a Param Dharma. And here what we are discussing is a Param Dharma through Raganuga Bhakti, and that is only the purpose of Krishna's appearance as Nanda Nandan or Yashoda Nandan, to give Prema Bhakti on Rag Marg, by which he can be controlled. He says in Chaitanya Chaitamrita that people worship me with Vedic hymns, I am not so much pleased and controlled, but when my friend just climbed on my shoulder and said, what is different between you and me, we are equal, I become more pleased. When the gopis chastise, when Mother Yashoda chastise me, I become more blissful than worshipped by the Vedas. So this is the purpose of Krishna's coming as Nanda Nandan Yashoda Nandan Krishna in Vrindavan as a Swayam Bhagavan.
Thank you,
Krishna book Srila Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Person of Godhead, who is known as the son of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, is never to be completely known to the yogis and speculators, means gyanis, but is easily available to his devotees, Nor is he appreciated as the supreme reservoir of all pleasure, which means Akhil Ras Murti. Supreme reservoir of all pleasure, Akhil Ras Murti. That is the Mangalacharna verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by the yogis and speculators. Now Chakravarti Pad writes, the Bhagavatam propounds Krishna Prem as the highest goal of all human endeavors. Savai, this is Krishna Prem is this verse, Savai Punsam Paro Dharmo. Prem is permanently situated in Krishna's eternal liberated associate, Nitya Siddha Parikar. Parikar means associate. Among Nitya Siddha, the Brajavasis, the resident of Gokul, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj are the best in Vatsalya Prem, because they control Krishna by their Vatsalya Prem, parental love. One who follow in the footsteps of Nitya Siddha, like Mother Yashoda, can easily attain Krishna Prem. Krishna is not obtainable in available to others. With this intention, the verse is spoken. Dehi Nam Gopika Sutta. The son of Gopi, Krishna is not easily available by devotees who still identify with body, Dehi Nam. Not by the self-satisfied who no longer identify with body, Gyani Nam. Although they may sometimes be called Shanta Bhakta or devotee of the sorts, they never get the opportunity to serve Krishna in Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. They can attain qualification to serve Krishna only by practicing sadhan bhakti under the guidance of inhabitant of Vrindavan. Then we should qualify this rag anuga sadhan bhakti by under the guidance of rag atmika bhakta of Vrja. Atma Bhutan, Brahma, Shiva and Lakshmi mentioned in the previous verse are Atma Bhuta, related with the Lord. Atma is Lord. Bhuta means they are related with Lord. Brahma and Shiva are avatar of Krishna. The Lakshmi is his Swarup Shakti. Yet even these three cannot easily attain Krishna, the son of Gopi. They cannot go to the Golok Vrindavan. Even Lakshmi in Vrindavan is on the other side of river Yamuna, waiting in bell one to enter into the rasa dance of Krishna, because she cannot be subservient to the gopis and become the cowherd lady. No. Bhakti matam iha. Devotee in this world. This indicates that those who are devoted to Yashoda or other resident of Vrindavan, means in Dasya Bhakti, Raktak Patrak, in Sakha Bhakti, Shidhama, Sudhama, Madhumangal, in Vatsalya, Nanda Yashoda, in Madhurya, Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, Vishakha, Lalita, Tung Vidya, all these. This is what it means.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, we say ourselves to we are a servant of the Krishna. But here it is written who are fixed in Sakya, Vatsalya or Madhurya Rasa will easily attain Vrij Krishna. It means we cannot attain Krishna, Vrij Krishna prem.
You had read one line earlier before me?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I am reading.
Bhakti matam iha, devotee in this world. This indicates that those who are devoted to Yashoda and other resident of Vrindavan, who are fixed in Sakya, it means Yashoda is Vatsalya. But if it's Sakya means Shridhama, Sudhama, and Vatsalya Yashoda, Madhurya is Gopis, will easily attain Krishna, Virja Krishna. Virja Krishna means Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Chinta, Mani, Parakasad, Masu, that Lakshmi, Sahasra, Surabhi, that Golok Krishna.
But we are the servants of the Lord. We are worshipping Him in servant bhav.
What do you say, doctor?
We are servants of the Lord. So it is not possible for us to go to the Golok Vrindavan.
We have to practice Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Sadhan Bhakti has to start when somebody has already crossed Anarth Nivarti stage and reached to the Nishta is a one qualification, and second is a greed that I would like to serve Krishna like these devotees, to follow in their footsteps. And now, to make it simple, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada writes whatever mellow you want, whatever bhav you want, you just follow in your spiritual master. You just follow in your spiritual master that bhav. Through him, you can practice Raganuga Bhakti. We are practicing, we don't know. Every day in Tulsi Puja, we are saying Brja Diyo Vas, Janme Janme Iya Abhilash. This is Raganuga Bhakti. Every day we are doing, but we are not at that stage, therefore we don't realize this. Tulsi Puja every day is Madhurya Bhakti in a Raganuga path. Every day we are doing this. Kunja Diyo Vas.
Yes, sir.
That is Raganuga Bhakti. We are doing it. But ultimately, Prabhupada said we have to follow the mood of these Raganuga Bhakta, Ragadvika Bhakta, how Yashoda want to serve Krishna, how the friends want to help Krishna in herding cows, how the gopis help, assist Krishna and Radha and Krishna to relish their pastime. So we have to follow in footstep and assist them, to become behind them, and whatever they ask, we should do that. And in that mood, we can cultivate our devotion, and one day we can perfect, and then we can enter into that mellow. What is Sundari Gopi? Your hand is up.
Prabhuji, I did not understand Mataji's question. Sorry, maybe. Can you repeat?
Mataji said, how can we go Vrindavan if we don't want to follow? We don't know how to follow them.
Oh, how we don't know how to follow?
Because
So
we are not yet practicing Raganuga Bhakti. Though we are practicing, we don't know.
Right.
Because we have not crossed, most of the devotees have not crossed Anartha Nivarti. This takes a long time. Once somebody reaches to the Nishtha, then everything is very, like going uphill is very tough. But once you reach to the top, then going down is very easy. After Nishtha, there's no problem. But then Golupyam also, then we should have agreed to have similar mood as Yashoda has for Krishna's service, or Sridhama, or Madhu Mangal, or Shubal has a Krishna, as a boy, as a friend. So if we develop, we have that greed, then we can practice Raganuga Sadhan Bhakti. Then we are eligible to go there. So Swarupa, the Swarup of Bhakti has been defined in the Srimad Bhagvatam. What is the Swarup of the Bhakti? Istriyaha Oragendraha Bhoga Bhujadanda Vishakta Dhiyo. How can we, Shruti says, Shruti means the hymns of the Veda. How can we, the Shrutis, get bodies like the gopis, who hold Krishna's lotus feet on their breast and are embraced by his serpentine arms? These Shrutis and Munis attend Krishna in Vraj by serving him in a elegance to the Vraja gopis. They are Rag Anuga, Madhurya Rag Anuga Bhakta. The Shrutis and the Munis means Munis of the Dandakaranya. Brahma, Shiva and Lakshmi could not become subservient to Braj gopis due to identification with their position on their own planet. Others do not surrender and follow the Brajavasis because of the insufficient guidance or lack of taste. Lack of taste means ruchi, lolium, and insufficient guidance means no rag anuga spiritual master. Now here Laghu Vaishnatosh writes, how did Yashoda attain her position? How can other attain such position? Lord son of Yashoda is not easily attainable by austerities or other means by people who identify themselves as the possessor of body, dehinam. If there is association with devotees somehow, at some time, then gradually a person will attain this. Auspiciousness arises for the worshipper of the devatas. If firm devotion to the Lord arises for association with devotees. Jnanis who know they are not the body and realize they are Atma, Jnaninam cha Atma Bhutanam, cannot easily attain such a position, but they also can gradually if they have association of devotees. Some versions have Atma Potanam. Atma Bhutanam, Atma Potanam. Pota means boat. Jnanis who cross the sansar by means of realization of Atma, who easily attain that position, O son of Yashoda, is attainable easily by those dedicated to Krishna, to him. Those who have devotion for Mahanarayan are excluded because they cannot go to Krishna, they can go to Vaikuntha. It is reasonable that the devotees of Narayan do not attain such position, since those who identify with body and Jnanis, seeing Krishna as the material body, do not respect him, and those who worship, this is Mayavadis, those who worship Narayan seeing his pastime as cowherd, even though they do not see him as a material entity, do not respect him. It is appropriate, oh, he's a cowherd. We need, majesty. It is appropriate that devotees of Krishna alone attain such position of bhakti. For only these devotees realize Krishna's pastime as highest. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya. This is about cowherd boys. In this way, with an abundance of the splendor caused by Krishna, they, means cowherd boys, played with him. Though he is pure consciousness or happiness known as Brahm for the Jnanis, the Supreme Lord for the devotees, with Dasya Bhav, and an ordinary human child for those covered by material illusion. How the Gopika Sut is not secondary descriptive element, since it indicates that the highest positions are given to Yashoda, the cowherd woman. The word here to him indicate to Krishna, son of Yashoda. Since only such devotees attain such position, in this world, would he without function in the in this world would be without function in the sentence? The word bhakti matam, person having bhakti, is used to indicate without distinction a succession of a devotee in past, present and future, since the Veda which teach bhakti and the parampara of the teacher and the student extend without beginning in the past and unlimitedly in the future. The special characteristic of son of Yashoda is that it in both states, sadhan and sadhya, prem. Sadhya means prem. He gives happiness, sukhapo. Therefore, the devotees of Krishna is spread all over all times, concentrate on the Lord as a son of Yashoda, as their sadhan. Even gopis, they are saying, Nanda Suno, Pati Dehi. They say, give me the husband, son of Nanda Baba, or son of Yashoda. So this is the primary identification of Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Accepting Krishna as the son of Yashoda is sadhan. However, this is not a sadhan for Yashoda, since if she performed such sadhan, there would be the fault of having no worship herself, to worship herself. There is no question of Yashoda attaining a position of happiness for Krishna as son of Yashoda, as well as Yashoda, Nanda, and others are also included. In various mantra used during the Janmashtami Vrata and Avaran Puja, worshipping of associates of the main deity during Archan, their names are mentioned. Thus previously, when I mentioned Drona and Dhara doing sadhan as expansion of Nanda and Yashoda. It was only a pastime in order to awaken your eagerness. But not Nanda and Yashoda. They were doing sadhan. Yet Nanda and Yashoda cannot do sadhan. Qualification to attain, Sanatana Goswami writes, mercy is described. Son of the cowherd woman, though accepting bondage, I am, who is bound by Mother Yashoda to the martyr, Damodar, endowed with all great qualities easily available to those with devotion to Krishna or in Braja, which is perceived in the heart even if not living there. Or the Lord is attainable persons who respect worship of the Lord but is not attainable by those who realize they are separate from the body, Dehinam, who realize Atma, or the Jivan Mukta, Jnaninam, or those who have perfected liberation, Atma Bhutanam. He is attainable only with suffering, only partially. Or even though such mercy is not available to the devotees like Brahma, it is available to these devotees. Or he gives happiness, Sukhappa, to these devotees and not to the others. The greatness of bhakti is stated. The Supreme Lord, whose mercy is rare, dear to the people of the Gokul, Gopika Sutta, is easily attended by the devotees in any place, year, but he is rarely attended by three other type of persons. Or he is easily attainable, or he makes one attain happiness in this world or in the present body. Another version is Atma Potanam, same thing. Okay, now two verses more. Krishna took a look at the Yamla Arjun tree. Krishnasto graha krityeshu vyagrahayam matri prabho adharakshidarjano purvam goyako dhanatmajo. While Mother Yashoda was very busy with household affairs after binding him, she thought, now he is not going to run away. I am going to make some more butter, some more other preparation to feed him, and then he is too greedy for butter, and he will come on my lap. And so she went for that job. The Supreme Lord Krishna observed twin trees known as Yamla Arjun. Yamla means twin. In the former millennium, means not this millennium, previous millennium, had been demigod son of Kubera, Nal Kubera and Manigiri. Krishna book. After binding her son, Mother Yashoda engaged herself in household affairs. At that time, bound up to the wooden martyr, Krishna could see pair of trees before him, which were known as Arjun trees. The great reservoir of pleasure, the Krishna, thus thought to himself, Mother Yashoda first of all left without feeding me sufficient milk, and therefore I broke the pot of yogurt and distributed the stock butter in charity to the monkeys. Now she has bound make up to me to the up to the wooden martyr. So I shall do something more mischievous than before. And thus he thought of pulling down the two very tall Arjun trees. Though bound by the devotees, Krishna is still able to liberate others, who will be seen in the chapter 10. Though he is exclusively the son of Yashoda, another incident is narrated to show that he possesses unrestricted knowledge and other powers. Yashoda bound Krishna, and he freed others from the bondage. Krishna freed others from bondage. The word tu indicates a change of the subject. Yashoda was engaged in the constant work indicated by the plural of household chores. She left him and went away, since he was in the yard nearby. And as will be mentioned later, other boys stayed there to protect him. She had no worry. that he would go elsewhere, since she did not think he had the power to pull the murder or free himself from the tight knot. Vishnu Puran says, Yadi Shaknoshi Gachatvam Ati Chanchala Cheshtitaha. If you can please go, boy, with fickle action, now I have tried, you cannot go. Okay, last verse. Pura narada shapena vrikshatam prapito mada nalkubero mani grivo iti kshato shriyan vitao. Okay. In their former birth, these both sons known as Nalkuber and Manigriva were extremely opulent and fortunate, but because of the pride and false prestige, they did not care about anyone, and thus Narad Muni cursed them to become trees. Krishna book. There is a history behind the pair of Arjun trees. In their previous lives, they had been the son of Kubera, and their names were Nal Kuber and Manigriv. Fortunately, they later came within the vision of this Lord. In their previous lives, the great sage Narad had cursed them in order to bestow the highest benediction of seeing Lord Krishna. This benediction curse was bestowed upon them because of their forgetfulness due to intoxication. This story will be narrated in the next chapter. Out of dates to my mother, Krishna is thinking, I have been bound by her. What can I do to clear the dates? Thinking in this way, Krishna liberated the two trees situated in the yard. Now this chapter is getting over. In the previous verse, it is mentioned that Krishna saw the trees. It is possible that he saw the trees previously also. But now consideration is given to the special circumstances of his bondage. Though he was bound by the action of the Leela Shakti, since it was suitable for the bhav of the occasion, it was suitable that he considered the bondage of Kubera's son when he also was in bondage. When you are in bondage, then you can think of somebody else that they are also in bondage. So this is the mood. He was seeing before, but he was never realized. But now he is bound, so he is thinking they are also bound. Thus he saw the trees and began to consider. He considered, the two have become trees by the curse of Narad, because of the pride and intoxication, Madat, since they had plenty of wealth. Okay, we have finished chapter 9, Damodar Leela ki Jai. What happened after that? After that, the next chapter is start. Somebody can read the summary?
Chapter describes how Krishna broke twin Arjun trees, from which Nalakuvera and Manigriva, the sons of Kuvera, then came out. Nalakuvera and Manigriva were great devotees of Lord Shiva, but because of material opulence, they became so extravagant and senseless that one day they were enjoying with naked girls in a lake and shamelessly walking here and there. Suddenly, Narad Muni passed by, but they were so maddened by their wealth and false prestige that even though they saw Narad Muni present, they remained naked and were not even ashamed. In other words, because of opulence and false prestige, they lost their sense of common decency. Of course, it is the nature of the material qualities that when one becomes very much opulent in terms of wealth and a prestigious position, one loses one's sense of etiquette and does not care about anyone. Even a sage like Narad Muni. For such bewildered persons, ahankar vimoodatma, who specially deride devotees, the proper punishment is to be again stricken with poverty. The Vedic rules and regulations prescribe how to control the false sense of prestige by the practice of yam, niyam, and so on. Tapsa brahmacharyena ashramen cha damen cha Srimad Bhagvatam 6.113. A poor man can be convinced very easily that the prestige of an opulent position in this material world is temporary. But a rich man cannot. Therefore, Narmani set an example by cursing these two persons, Nalakuver and Mandigriv, to become dull and unconscious like trees. This was a fit punishment. But because Krishna is always merciful, even though they were punished, they were fortunate enough to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Therefore, the punishment given by Vaishnavas is not at all punishment. Rather, it is another kind of mercy. By the cause of the Devrishi, Nalakuver and Manigriva, by the curse of Devrishi, Nalakuver and Manigriva became twin arjun trees and remained in the courtyard of Mother Yashoda and Maharaj, waiting for the opportunity to see Krishna directly. Lord Krishna, by the desire of his devotee, uprooted these Yamal Arjun trees, and when Nalakuver and Manigriv were thus delivered by Krishna, after 100 years of the Devas, their old consciousness revived, and they offered Krishna prayers suitable to be offered by demigods. Having thus gotten the opportunity to see Krishna face to face, they understood how merciful Narmani was, and therefore they expressed their indebtedness to him and thanked him. Then after circumambulating the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, they departed for their respective abodes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. The first 4 verses, condition of the son of Kubera. Sri Raja Uvacha, Parishad Maharaj is asking, Kathyatam Bhagavan etatayo shapasya karanam yattad vigrahitam karma yena va devarshi tamaha. How can Devarshi become angry? Tama means angry. So Maya, King Parikshit inquired from Sukdev Goswami, O great and powerful saint, what was the cause of Nalkuver and Manigriva's having been cursed by Narad Muni? What did they do? What was so abominable that even Narad, the great sage, became angry at them? Kindly describe this to me. Krishna book. The story of cursing the Nalkuver and Manigriva and their deliverance by Krishna under all the blissful desire of the great sage Narad is here described. This chapter tells the ancient story of Narad's cursing the son of Kubera. Afterwards, the two sons Nalkuber and Manigriva. Kubera means one who is bent in the back, Kubda. And Manigriva means one who is in the neck, has some jewel. Glorify the Krishna for granting them a special liberation, namely Krishna Prem. The word tama in this verse means anger. What degraded activity did Nalkuber and Manigriva do to incur the wrath of Narad, get cursed? Parikshit inquired in order to nourish the rasa of hearing and pastime concerning the liberation of the two trees. Out of curiosity, Parikshit inquired about another pastime. When Krishna began to consider the options using his unrestricted omniscience, after being agitated by his mother's anger and being tied up, please tell the cause of the curse by which Narad became angry. The verb adhbhut should be added at the end of the sentence. Another version has yena sida devarshi tamaha, which is easier to understand. Hearing the most attractive pastime of Damodar with emotional heart, Parikshit remained offering respect for a moment, out of his special bhava, and he asked about the another topic. The verb is okay. The verb is missing to preserve the meter, and the version is not accepted by all. Another version has ye nasid, okay. Or without considering the matter even, there must have been some great offense to be so condemned. I have committed a sinful act and was cursed by Brahman's son. But my offense must have been much less. Otherwise, Narad would not have been so angry at these two brothers. O omniscient sage, Bhagavan, though I was cursed by the sage for my sinful act, I obtained your mercy. What happened to these two? You would know. Next two verses. Sri Shuka Vacha. Rudrasyanucharo bhutva sudripto dhanatmajao कैलास उपवने रम्ये मंदाकिन्यां मदोत् मदो वारुणिं मद्रिणां पीत्वा घोरिणीतालोचनो स्त्री जनैः अनुगायदभिः चेरतुः पुष्पिते वने. Sukdev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, because of the two sons of Kuber has been elevated to the association of Lord Shiva. This is one thing. They are follower of a big, great demigod. Number two, of which they were very much proud. That is, therefore they become proud. Three, and were allowed to wander in the garden attached to the Kailash hill on the bank of Mandakini river, which is for purification, but they are taking advantage of this. They used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni. So now, because they are also the Dhan Atmajo. They are son of the great treasure Kubir. And then they drank the Varuni, accompanied by women singing after them. They would wander in that garden of flowers. Their eyes are always rolling in intoxication. So here we see, if somebody has a good baking, has a more money, indulge in the woman and wine, then he always commit mistake. This verse mentions some of the material advantages afforded to a person associated with a devoted to Lord, associated with or devoted to Lord Shiva. Apart from Lord Shiva, if one is a devotee of any other demigod, one receives some material advantages. Foolish people therefore become devotees of demigod. This has been pointed out and criticized by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Kameshte Hirta Gyana. Those who are not a devotee of Krishna have a taste for woman, wine, and so forth, and therefore they have been described as Hirta Gyana, bereft of sense. The Krishna conscious movement can very easily point out such foolish persons, for they have been indicated in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, Namam duskritino moodaha prapadyanti naradamaha maya pratagyana ashurim bhavam ashritaha. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among the mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by an illusion, and who partake the atheistic nature of demon, do not surrender unto me. Anyone who is not devotee of Krishna, does not surrender to Krishna, must be considered Naradam, the lowest of men. And Dushkriti, one who always commits sinful activities. Kriti means action, Dush means wrong. Thus there is no difficulty in finding out who is third class or fourth class man. For one's position can be understood simply by this crucial test. Is he or is he not a devotee of Krishna? Why are the devotees of the demigod greater in number than the Vaishnavas? The answer is given herein. Vaishnavas are not interested in such fourth class pleasure as wine, woman, nor does Krishna allow them such facilities. Krishna book. The two great demigods, Nalkubir and Manigriv, were sort of treasures of the demigod Kubera, who were the great devotee of Lord Shiva. So actually Kuber is a friend, a close companion of Kubera, Shiva. And they are the son of Kubera, so they are his followers. By the grace of Lord Shiva, Kubera's material appearance had no limit. As a rich man's son often become addicted to wine and woman, so these two sons of Kubera were also addicted to the wine and sex. Once these two demigods, desiring to enjoy, entered the garden of Lord Shiva in the province of Kailash on the bank of Mandakini Ganga. There they drank much and engaged in hearing the sweet singing of the beautiful woman who accompanied them in that garden of fragrant flowers. Sukdev, in response to such consideration, began to speak in two verses. Varunim refers to liquor produced from churning of the milk ocean, or to a beverage made by Varuna. In any case, it was very intoxicating. After drinking it, they wandered in a flowering forest near the Mandakini river in the grooves of the Kailash mountain. Sanatana Goswami writes, because they were attendant of Shiva, they become very proud. Sudripto, dripto means proud. Or they were proud because they were the son of Kubera, that is a rich man. Though they were follower of Shiva, they were faulty because they acted at the holy place on the bank of Mandakini river and played in the water because they were intoxicated. Though it was forbidden to play in the Ganga, moreover, they were naked. That was a great offense as well. And they were with drunken women. The wine was made by Varuna and was thus most intoxicating. First the two sang because of intoxication, and the woman then sang, or they sang continuously. Verse number 4. Antah pravishya gangayam ambojah vana rajini चिकीर्णतो व्यो युवती भी गजाव एवह kareni bhi. Analogy, elephant with the she elephant. within the water of Mandakini river, Ganga, which was crowded with the gardens of the lotus flower, and two sons of Kuber would enjoy girls just like two mad elephants enjoying in the water with the female elephants. Srila Prabhupada's purport. People generally go to the Ganges to be purified of the effect of sinful life. But here is an example of low, foolish person enter the Ganga to become involved in sinful life. This is what is happening nowadays at Haridwar and near Rishikesh. This rafting and overnight staying in the tents in the sandy river bank and drinking and all these things. More than Nalkuber and Manigrav, there's a more hellish life there in a pure place at this time. It is not that everyone become purified by entering Ganga. Everyone is spiritual and material. Everything is spiritual and material depend on one's mental condition. Very nice statement, Prabhupada's. Mental condition. In an intoxicated Krishna book, in an intoxicated condition, the two demigods entered the water of Ganges, which was filled with the lotus flower, and there they began to enjoy the company of the young girls exactly as the male elephant enjoy female elephant within the water. How did the two sons of Kuber enjoy in the Mandakini Ganga? They entered the Ganga, which was adorned with the clumps of the lotuses, and began to play with the young girls just as an intoxicated. Same thing. Okay, almost same thing. Go to the next verse. Next verse 5 and 6. Sorry?
This was in Devloka? This happened?
This is high up in the Kailash. They say Kailash, where Lord Shiva lives. It's good. Mandakini actually is coming from the Kedarnath. This
This
Mandakini,
happened on earth.
Mandakini is coming
The
from
first time
Kedarnath.
happened on earth.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Mandakini is coming from Kedarnath, and Kedarnath is also a residence of Lord Shiva. It's also Himalaya.
Yeah.
So 5 and 6, appearance of Narad Muni, response to the sons of Kubera. Yadricha means by the desire of Krishna actually. Yadricha cha deva rishihi bhagavan tatra Kubera kauravaha apashyan nardo deva ho क्षिबिणा हो संबबोदय बबुध्यत सम अबुध्यत. O Maharaj Parikshit, by some auspicious opportunity for two boys, Yadrichaya. The great, whenever you get Yadrichaya, it means association of a devotee. That is very fortunate. So auspicious opportunity, Yadrichaya, for the two boys, the great saint Devrishi Narad once appeared there by chance. Seeing them intoxicated with rolling eyes, he could understand their situation. Srila Prabhupada writes, it is said, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kahe, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoye. Whenever Narad goes, wherever Narad goes, any moment at which he appears is understood to be extremely auspicious. It is also said, Brahman Brahmita koi bhagivan jiva Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata bija. According to their karma, all the living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planetary system. Some are going down into the lower planetary system. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of creeper of devotional service. Narad appeared in the garden to give the two sons of Kubera seed of devotional service. Even though they were intoxicated, saintly persons know how to bestow mercy upon fallen souls. Krishna book. While they were thus enjoying themselves in the world, all of a sudden Narad, the great sage, happened to pass that way. He could understand that the demigods Nal, Kuber and Manigiri were too much intoxicated and could not even see that he was passing. Seeing them, Devrishi Narad could understand that they were intoxicated. Kshevanau, okay. The word cha means to indicate a different subject. Or the word cha can indicate that he saw them and understood completely. After coming on his own, he saw them. The word Devrishi indicates the person who disciplines. Devrishi means one who disciplines. And the word Bhagavan indicates person with a compassion. Thus, his curse and his mercy are appropriate to his nature. Sukdev Goswami addresses Parikshit as a Kshatriya, or descendant of Kuru. By this, he indicates that Narad, a sage, went bravely to a place where normally he should not go. Verse number 6. Tam drishtva viridita devyo. Viridit means they become ashamed, the ladies. Vivastraha, because they had no cloth. Shapa sankita, they were afraid of the curse. Vashansi prayahodo shigram, they quickly dressed themselves with the cloth. Vivastaro naiva gohyako, but the two boys, they remained naked. Upon seeing Narad, the naked young girls of the demigods were very much ashamed. Afraid of being cursed, they covered their bodies with their garments. But the two sons of the Kubera did not do so. Instead, not caring about Narad, they remained naked. Krishna book. The young girls, however, were not so much intoxicated as demigods, and they at once become ashamed at being naked before the great sage Narad. They began to cover themselves with all the haste. The two demigods, son of Kubera, were so much intoxicated that they could not appreciate the presence of sage Narad, and therefore they did not cover their bodies. Though they were demigods, they lost their quality of satogun, or mode of goodness, and thus they are called guyako, yaksha, which means yaksha. The word ev indicates that though the woman put on their clothing with urgency, the two boys, they did not. So they are not in mode of goodness, they are in mode of ignorance and patience. Word now, this next section 7 to 23, response of Narada. This is some Narad Geet. It's a very good teaching actually. We will just read one more verse and then leave it for tomorrow. तौ दृष्ट्वा मदिरा मतौ श्रीमदन्धौ श्रुतात्मजौ sur atmajo. Tau means both two brothers. Drishtva, on seeing, Madir Matau, they were intoxicated by wine. Shri Madandhau, because they were blinded by their opulence and richness. Sur Atmajo, they were the son of great demigod. Tayo anugraha arthaya, this is very important line. To be merciful on them, anugraha. Anugraha artha is very important word actually, for the purpose of giving special mercy to them. Anugraha artha. Shapam dasyam idam jagau, then he spoke that curse. It's not actually curse, it is great special mercy. Seeing the two sons of the demigod naked and intoxicated by the opulence and false prestige, Devrishi Narad, in order to show them special mercy, desired to give them a special curse. Thus he spoke as follows. Although in the beginning Narad Muni appeared very angry and cursed them, at the end the two demigods, Nalkuber and Manigrave, were able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna face. Thus the curse was ultimately auspicious and brilliant. One has to judge what kind of curse Narad places upon them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives here a good example. When a father finds his child deeply asleep, but the child has to take some medicine to cure some disease, the father punches the child so that the child will get up and take the medicine. In a similar way, Narad Muni cursed the Nalkuber and Manigar in order to cure their disease of material blindness. Krishna book. On seeing the two demigods so degraded by intoxication, Narad desired their welfare, and therefore he exhibited his causeless mercy upon them by cursing them. Because the great sages were compassionate upon them, he wanted to finish their false enjoyment of intoxication and association with young girls, and wanted them to see Lord Krishna face to face. He conceived of cursing them as follows. And Chakravarti Pad writes, Narad desired to cure Nalkuber and Manigriv so that they could meet the Lord directly and thereby get special mercy, anugraha arthai. When an affectionate mother wants to feed some kheer to her son, but find him deeply sleepy, she will wake him by pinching him. Narad spoke in the loud voice, Jagau, so that the others would also benefit. Though they were son of Devata, he gave them mercy. And since they were intoxicated and proud, he cursed them. So while he gave mercy, because he is Dev Rishi and they are his dependent. And why he cursed? Because they were proud and intoxicated. He wanted them to receive suitable mercy from Krishna. Since the nature of the devotee is to be merciful, he cursed them to become trees so that they could attain a direct meeting with Krishna, through which they would develop bhakti and become free of their corruption. That mercy would fully manifest after the curse diminished their offense. Then the real form, artha, of the mercy would appear. They were born as the trees growing at Nanda's gate in Mahavan and named after the coward boys named Arjun. Hearing about the Lord full of all qualities, destroyer of all suffering, attractor of all senses, who through his appearance causes pleasure to the ears and great attraction to the mind, destroy all disinterest in the topics and all thirst for the material enjoyment, and produce prem for the attractive Lord and friendship with you. This is the verse 7, 1 and 2. So let them, because this is the benefit they got, Dwal Kabir and Manigriv, by watching the all childhood pastime in Gokul of Lord Sri Krishna, baby. Let them attend direct association with Lord Child Krishna and his enchanting pastime. Here is what I think. Narad began singing song of Krishna's unlimited mercy, such as following. So Narad thought, am I giving actually curse? Am I angry? Then he started singing. And in anger you cannot sing. So when he was able to sing, he thought, no, it is mercy, it's not curse. So, tokena jiva haranam yadolkali kaya traimasikascha padashakto. Oh, this is the verse from 2:7:27. Appear Krishna's pastime. He killed the Putna. This is Narad was singing like that. He killed the Putna when he was just an infant. He overturned the card with his 3-month-old foot. Simply by his crawling between the two Arjun trees, which touched the heaven, he uprooted them. Such activities are not possible for other forms of the Lord. No other form can do that. By singing in this manner, his mercy completely become one with Krishna's mercy, Narad's mercy. By that the two attain the final result in Braj. Thus it says in this verse that he sang Jagau. In fact, he began loudly singing the verse as a song without internal anger. So only somebody can sing when he is not angry. So he thought, I am not angry, I simply want to bless them. So verse number 8 to 12, I think our time is over. Dangers of wealth. This is a philosophical subject we will do tomorrow. Okay? Yes, Prabhus. Any question or comment?
How did Nalakuvira and Manigriv become so fortunate that here they are doing sinful activity, and then they are getting the mercy?
Yeah, somehow or other, Devrishi Narad, whoever he meets, he give them bhakti. So Yadricha means by the inspiration of Krishna, he wanted to bless them. Ultimately, Krishna wanted his pastime to be sung by these two Nal Kuber and Manigiri after their deliverance as Madhu Kantha and Snigdha Kantha in Gopal Champu. So they are been given the Prema Bhakti. But this is only because of the mercy of Narada.
So it's like Prabhupada meeting, different people around the world.
This is?
It's like Prabhupada.
Oh yeah, Prabhupada. Oh, similarly, Prabhupada Yadrichaya. He went to the Ashbury and other places where no saintly people want to go. Similarly, never go where the girls and boys are just mixing without, naked, without clothes. But when they want to give mercy, then he dare to go. So Prabhupada dared to go to all these places, and he delivered more worst people than the Nalkuber and Manigiri, and he gave them really mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is even rare. So, anybody has some comment or question? No? Okay.
Yadrichya is in which verse?
What?
Which verse has this word Yadrichya?
Oh, this verse will be maybe, I think, second or first, you see. Among the first four verses. Yadrichaya. And I think Gurujan
Also,
Prabhu.
Krishna speaks about Yadrichaya in Bhagavad Gita, that which comes out of its own accordance by the will of Prabhupada.
Well, that is a different word. Srila Prabhupada, the Gurujan Prabhu has commented that Prabhupada said Yadricha means good fortune, which means association of devotee. Particularly, we teach in Nectar of Devotion, Yadrichaya means association of devotee. By association of devotee, one can only get devotional service. Yadricha means fortune, fortune means association of devotee, and not as the topmost devotee.
Hare Krishna. Could you please repeat the meaning of the name Nalakumara?
Oh, Nalla Kubara. Kubara means one who is bent like this. So they were not, they were ugly. It's not that they were very, I said it's Kubar. And money means jewel, and griva means lake. So one has a jewel, a jewel in the neck, some diamond, something like that, and one was a little bit, hunchback, something like that. The word is a null kubera, kubara. And the other meaning of null means they were just like a bamboo is a proud. These are the some meanings to the context sometimes said.
Thank you.
But you mentioned about their names, some names from Gopal Champu. What happened?
Oh, Snigdha Kantha and Madhu Kantha. That every day we see these are the Nal Kuber and Manigriva. After Krishna gave them Prema Bhakti, then they are reciting the Krishna's pastime in the daytime to the Nandan, Yashoda and Gopas, and the night time to the Gopis about Krishna's pastime. Both Snigdha Kantha. Snigdha means very, Madhu means sweet voice, and Snigdha means very polite voice. Very Snigdha generally means oil, which means very polite voice. So both has a very good voice, and they sing the pastime of Krishna.
It was mentioned in Krishna book that they, after Krishna relieved them, they went back to the spirit, to the.
Yeah, basically they have to go back as a demigod, but this Gopal Champu is writing that these are the two, Snigdha Kantha and Madhu Kantha are these two, Nalkuber and Manigriv. Now Krishna gave them a special position to recite Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan. Today was most important couple verses to be always remembered. Sukhapo Gopika Sut is most important. Na Vrancho, na Bhavo, na Lakshmi. These both were two verses which is the highlight of the 9th chapter of Damodar Leela. Verse number 21 and 22, I think. 21 and 22. Okay, we end it here with Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandvat pranam vancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhu vyaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.